Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ty and it's been a long time coming, but we finally have an update on Project Renaissance. For those unaware what this is a fan-made recreation of the E3 2018 version of Dying Light 2, which in many ways was a completely different game. So, many of the best Dying Light modders have come together to bring it back to life, adding their own spin to it as well. The last time we talked about this project, it was going through a little drama with the old leader. That whole situation was just crazy to be honest, and since then the leadership has continued to change, but I would like to think it's in a pretty good spot now, as we now have a new look at gameplay. A majority of the gameplay I show takes place in the Harrington district, which to put it into perspective how little of the map we're actually seeing here, this is the current long-term plan for the map, so it's got a long way to go. Now, it is worth noting the trailer was recorded on low-end settings just because it isn't fully optimized yet, so they just wanted to make it look as smooth as it can be. So just as you're watching, keep that in mind that the finished product will look better than this. In the teaser trailer, we get to see a lot of unique architecture and a big variety for just one small district. You will be able to come across dark zones and things like that, the normal Dying Light stuff. But we won't see anything regarding that or much of the story until they've significantly developed out the map and fixed the parkour and tweaked that a bit. And once that's done and optimized, the story then becomes more of a priority. You can really only do so much without the map actually being finished, you know? And well, speaking of the story, I actually do have some details about it. It takes place 5 years before Dying Light 2 Stay Human, following the character Eli. So yes, it's intended to be a canon story in the Dying Light universe. So even with it being its own thing, having its own spin on it, they'll still reuse a lot of what was introduced in those original concepts and trailers back in 2018. Like while they're writing their own story and background, they'll still use a lot of those leftover quest lines. And some cut ideas that are within the limitations of developer tools, and yeah, we'll talk about developer tools more in a moment. I do have to give big props to the soundtrack and voice acting. As someone who's done a lot of trailer editing over the years for movies made within games and things of that type, pretty good job overall guys, you did good. The whole project is very ambitious, having its own animations, character models, lots to see. But the one thing I hope for most, which should be a given, but I hope the developers dearly think about this, is the fun factor. I've actually played a majority of the Dying Light 2 custom maps released over the years, and I feel like a lot of these maps look amazing visually. But in terms of objectives and content, there just really isn't much to it. I'm sure for many after getting their hands on this, just finally visiting Elyseum after years of waiting will be enough. But I hope there's some chunky meat to those Elyseum bones, if you know what I mean. But as I mentioned, very talented team. If they can all stay committed for the long run, then I wouldn't be too worried. So, from what I can see, one big factor that determines how successful this project is in the long run is Techland support. They've actually been in contact with the Renaissance team before, however, from what the developer said, it never led to anything. And in fact, there's been no communication from Techland in months. But now, since the beast is out, hopefully they can lend a helping hand and help the project reach its full potential. Because one thing the team really needs is some significant updates to the developer tools, which, as you could guess from the name, is what's used to create everything you see. It's currently, from what I understand, very limited beyond map capabilities, and they have found some workarounds, but they really need more freedom if you want to see things like the original Volatile Hives or content that is a little bit more ambitious. Like, truthfully, just to be full-on blunt about it, I don't think we'll see this on consoles, at least a full package, unless Techland helps. It's just currently not possible, but I will say the recent teaser is performing very well, so I'm sure Techland has their eyes on it. But what do you think? It's been fascinating seeing the evolution of this map over the years, witnessing the drama, the roller coaster of development. It's been a fun ride. So share your thoughts about the Elyseum remake down below, subscribe if you don't take shots of pickle juice every Tuesday at 3:06 p.m. and have a glorious day folks, adios. And oh yeah, I forgot my outro music keeps getting claimed now, so now I have to switch it. Goodbye Persona music, feels like the end of an era. It's a shame, but I'm just gonna try some new stuff, so if that one gets copyright claimed and you hear silence at the end, well, you know why. Anyways, thanks for watching folks, see you later.